AI companies don't want you to learn to code. Why might that be? Why might AI companies not actually want you to learn to code? Well, this opinion article brings up a point that I had not really considered. So let me pop this open here. I want to give due credit. This is from Fred Benenson, The Perverse Incentives of AI Coding. And if you look down here, there's a nice little chart. NFTU, what if it's actually doing what they want? What when Neuralink bros are telling Tucker we don't even know if it's hiding info from us and he buys it? Maybe goals to make us fear the AI. Sam Altman, I covered an article from Sam Altman's blog. I think it was Sam Altman's blog. No, it's the CEO. No, it was someone from OpenAI, but I don't think it was Sam Altman. I can't remember, but I covered an article from an OpenAI, I think a CEO, executive. And he literally admitted that they do not know how AI operates internally, and they actually do not know how AI generates bad outcomes and bad decision-making processes. They don't understand it. They don't have a way to look inside and see how that happens. And I think I'm quoting almost verbatim that they do not know how bad the problem possibly is. They cannot even take a guess as to like quantifying how bad the decision making is inside of these systems, because they don't even know how to look into it to figure out how it's currently, how these things are currently working. That's an admission straight out of the horse's mouth. Unfortunately, if you look at the token cost, okay? If you look at the token cost here, you can start to see a picture form. Why would AI companies not want you to learn to code? What are you going to do with an AI as you're coding? Well, obviously, you're going to vibe code, right? Since Claude Code has been released, the author has probably spent over $1,000 vibe coding various projects into reality. Coding agents, and especially Claude 3.7, tend to write too much code, a phenomenon that ends up costing users more than it should. So what happens is that you will go to these LLMs and you'll say, I would like to create X product. I want to create a video game, or I want to create some kind of software or website. Write me some code so that it has these features and whatever. And they will write a bunch of code for you. They'll spit it out. And then what typically tends to happen? They'll write too much code. So you can look at the picture here. This is hard to get on one screen, so I apologize. But the human code is on the left and the Claude code is on the right, implementing the same algorithm. So if you look, it's really hard. I wish I could get this all on one screen. You can look up the title of the article and go look it up yourself. But you can absolutely see that the simplistic nature of the human code on the left surpasses the far more verbose and expansive code on the right. Now, you know, why would LLMs do this? And one reason could be LLMs don't know how to generate code properly. That's a good call out, Ordinator. Let me try that. Let's see if I can. Yeah, it's still difficult to get this all on one screen. It's hard to say. It's hard to see it, right? It's about the same size. It's probably going to look really stupid on your guys' screen. On mine, it looks fine because I can blow it up and stuff on my stream thing here. But for you guys, it might be annoying, so I apologize. But you can just kind of tell just from looking at it that there is definitely a cleaner view, a cleaner creation of the human code than the LLM code. And so then you would ask the question, why does this code look so much worse out of the LLM? Why does it have more bugs, etc., etc.? And so then there's a breakdown. The AI generates verbose procedural code for a given task. The code becomes part of the context when you ask for further changes or additions. This is the key part. The AI now has to read and you pay for this verbose code in every subsequent interaction. More tokens processed equals more revenue for the company behind the AI. The LLM developers have no incentive to fix the verbose code problem because doing so will meaningfully impact their bottom line. I would take it one step further. I would say that they don't have an incentive to fix the code quality and code security problem, because it just means you're going to go right back to the LLM and continue to ask it questions like those smooth-brained morons I've argued with on X who go, I've literally heard this argument thrown at me. It's okay if the LLM gets something wrong. I'll just ask it to fix it. And meanwhile, Mr. Altman is sitting in his throne somewhere at the top of some evil tower, petting his cat, going like this. Yes. 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 That's exactly what's happening. So where is the monetary incentive for these companies to fix some of the problems that have been known to be in the system from the very start? If you're someone of, let's say, an unethical nature, the incentive is to keep the problems there because it keeps people coming back to you. It's not that hard. Yeah, he's petting his Tamagotchi. So I thought this was a very good article because it brought up a point that I hadn't really considered as fully as the author here did. I would encourage you to read the article. He goes into a lot more detail about some of the specifics of his use cases of the LLMs and how it leads to him having to spend more money and therefore more income for the AI companies. So again, it's called The Perverse Incentives of Vibe Coding by Fred Benenson.